Should I start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, all of you. Welcome back to Online Education by BMC. This is Vaijayanti Patil from Turve MPS. Today we are going to start with the topic that is Introduction to Biotechnology. Before we get into the actual biotechnology, let us quickly revise what are the things that are used in biotechnology. Now, you have learned about tissues and organs in your last class. Group of cells that perform similar functions are known as tissues, and the different tissues that perform similar function, they come under the organ system. We have learned about different tissues which have capabilities of developing new cells. These tissues are very special tissues in our body, and they are known as stem cells. And in case of plants, they are known as meristematic tissues. With the proper nutrient or the proper nutrient media, these cells, these types of meristematic or the stem cells, can be used to develop an entire tissue, organ, or even an organism. This technique of developing something new from a smaller piece of the tissue is known as biotechnology. So students, today we are going to learn about a new branch of biology that is known as biotechnology. In this, either a entire living organism or a part of living organism is used to produce food items or to produce certain kind of drugs, and n number of the real world problems can be sorted out with the help of biotechnology. As we know, the current situation of corona pandemic, new vaccines are being generated. The vaccines, that is Covishield or Covaxins, these are also produced with the technique that is biotechnology. So this is a very emerging and a needful branch of biology. With help of this technique, it is possible to produce plants and animals that will have certain new characters which are beneficial to the society, which are more advanced or more better than the one that are present in the nature. So you can modify an entire genome or set of the genes of the organism to develop an entire new organism with new desired qualities which are helpful for solving certain problems in the real world. Now, if we talk about the history of biotechnology, though we say it is a new emerging field of biotechnology, but the roots of biotechnology are very old, and it is being used since 8,000 years before Christ. How was it used? The technique of seeds replanting, selective breeding of animals, growing improved varieties of crop, making yogurt, then making cheese, fermentation process, for beverage or wines. All these techniques, these are very old and these are the part of biotechnology. So actually the roots of biotechnology are very old. This term biotechnology was first coined by the Hungarian engineer Karl Erke in year 1919. Remember this? The term biotechnology was coined by Karl Erke in year 1919. Now, traditional biotechnology has been used for thousands of years to produce improved food and health products. Today, modern biotechnology enables us to improve products more safely and more rapidly than ever before. So large amount of production with better results is possible because of the biotechnology. And as we know, the population is also increasing. Hence, the demand of the products is also increasing. So to meet that ever increasing demand in the market, this new technique of biotechnology is very important. It has also flourished in the prehistoric period. Now, what and how has this technology evolved? The people in the olden days knew about these cells. See, even our skin, if we get hurt anywhere, our skin regenerates, it regrows, our wounds are healed. How is it healed? Because there are these tissues keep on growing, right? So whatever damage has been caused on smaller quantity, it gets healed automatically. So that property of the tissue was identified by a particular group of scientists, and that tissue which are capable of producing new cells and regenerating new cells, they were known as totipotent cell. Understand what is meaning of totipotent? The cells or the tissue which are capable of dividing, redividing, and generating new cells or new tissues if proper environment is produced to them or provided to the cells. Now, such cells are known as stem cells. Okay. Now, where are the stem cells available? In our body, if we talk about human beings, these cells are available in the placenta, that is the cord that joins the young one with the mother, as well as they are present in the bone marrow. You can get stem cells out of there. And in case of plants, the meristematic tissues like the uh, root tips, the shoot tips, and the cambium. These are the meristematic tissues. So a small part of these tissues are used as stem cells. The cells of these tissues are segregated. They are transferred into the nutrient media, which is sterile nutrient media, in which the cells undergoes multiplication, and according to the cell types, they can give rise to new different varieties of cells and ultimately the tissues. Now, have you ever seen a plant that produces 40 different varieties of fruits or different varieties of flower? Developing such kind of plants which can produce different varieties of fruits or flower is possible by this technique of biotechnology. There are different techniques that are involved in biotechnology. Let us learn about it. The first technique is genetic engineering, and the second technique is tissue culture. What is genetic engineering? You have learned In each cell, there is a nucleus, and each nucleus contains the genetic material, that is DNA and the RNA, which gives the entire characteristics of any organism. When these genes are modified, when these genes are modified, that is known as genetic engineering. I would like to give you an example over here. Now see, a person is suffering from diabetes. Okay, diabetes is now a hereditary disease, that is, it is transferred from one generation to the other generation. Now, in this case, a person can cure this by modifying that gene, which is not capable of producing insulin. Actually, when the diabetes is caused, when the insulin level drops and the sugar level in the blood increases, diabetes is caused. So if the insulin is produced in proper quantity, then it can be controlled. In certain people, this gene is not capable of producing the insulin. So in that case, this gene can be identified and replaced by a proper healthy gene, so that entire genetic makeup of the individual is been changed. So this is known as genetic engineering, where a particular gene is introduced in the, or a desired gene is introduced in the living organism to transform that organism entirely to produce the desired product, that is known as genetic engineering. See, you can see over here that this is the DNA, and there are some scientists who are working on remodeling the structure of DNA. Okay, the sequence of gene that is present on the DNA is altered by using, of course, there are different techniques or different chemicals which are available to carry on these processes. This is known as genetic engineering. And the second technique is tissue culture. As I've shown you in the earlier slide, a small piece of the meristematic tissue is transferred into a proper healthy nutrient medium, where the tissue, where the cells grow into tissues and ultimately into a complete organism, can be obtained from the meristematic tissue, that is known, or the totipotent tissue, that is known as tissue culture. Now, this technique of bringing about improvement in living organism by artificial genetic changes and by hybridization for the welfare of human beings are together called biotechnology. Now, where is it used? There are lot many uses of this biotechnology. It is used for production of cash crops, for improvement of varieties of cash crops, increase in abilities of plants to withstand environmental stresses. It is used for production of vaccines, earlier diagnosis of congenital diseases, organ transplant, cancer research, production of artificial skin, cartilage, and many such tissues in the laboratory. So these are the uses of biotechnology. Now, steps involved in genetic engineering. What you have seen in the last slide, that the scientists were working on the structure of DNA. Again here, I will take example of the same insulin gene. Okay. Now, see, this red structure that you see over here, these are the molecular scissors. Means these are certain kind of chemicals which are capable of cutting the DNA molecule. Okay. So these molecular scissors are used for cutting the DNA fragment at desired location. How is it done? See, there is a genome project carried out by the government in which the entire genome of various organisms has been recorded. That is, at which stage or which location on the DNA is a particular gene present. There are genetic maps prepared by the genetic engineers or the doctors, and with the help of that maps, the location of particular gene is identified. With the help of the molecular scissors, the DNA molecule is cut at the required position. Now, suppose, for example, if I want to produce human insulin in earlier days when biotechnology was not utilized, this insulin injections were prepared from the pancreas of, or was extracted from the pancreas of pigs or the cows. Now, this had certain allergic reactions. As the technique of biotechnology evolved, the scientists, they identified the insulin gene. With the help of molecular scissors, they extracted the insulin gene as it is shown in this. With the help of enzymes, that are the molecular scissor, the particular gene is isolated. Then it is introduced in the desired vector. Now, what is a vector? The organism in which the gene will be inserted, that is known as the vector. Now, this gene, insulin gene, was introduced in the bacteria that is known as E. coli, Escherichia coli. So now the human insulin producing gene is introduced in a bacteria that is known as E. coli. Now see, this is plasmid DNA that is present in the E. coli. Okay. Now, insulin producing gene is introduced in the DNA of the bacteria that is E. coli. Now, this organism with the new introduced gene will be transferred into the nutrient media and they will start multiplying. Okay. Now see, here you can see the one with this green is a newly introduced gene. So this is the DNA of a modified organism. And this gene will express into the desired product, that is insulin, that is human insulin. So now the bacteria Escherichia coli is capable of producing human insulin. This is how nowadays medicines are getting prepared without damaging any kind of organism. I hope you all have understand the steps involved in genetic engineering. I will just repeat it again. What is done? First, the position of the gene is identified, which is needed to be transferred. With the help of enzymes that are known as molecular scissors, the DNA fragment is cut. That desired gene is then transferred into the DNA of the appropriate organism. For example, E. coli, which is mostly used. Then this modified E. coli is transferred into the nutrient media. In the nutrient media, these organisms will keep on multiplying and more number of organisms having human insulin gene will be produced. This organism will then start producing human insulin, which is then extracted to develop the vaccines or the injections of the insulin. Now, what is tissue culture? These are the steps of tissue culture. This is a modern technique related to farming or gardening in which ex vivo growth of cell or tissue in an aseptic and nutrient-rich medium is called tissue culture. Now remember, what is ex vivo? Ex vivo is when the growth is carried out outside the body of the living organism, or it is carried out in the artificial conditions, that is known as ex vivo. Okay. See, in this case, the cells are extracted from the plant and they are transferred into the cultural medium. What is this cultural medium? It is nothing but the nutrients that are required for multiplication, growth, and development of these cells into new tissue and then ultimately a new organism. Okay. So what is ex vivo? When the growth is carried out in artificial conditions, in by providing proper nutrients and outside the body of living organism. You all know about the uh, test tube babies. Okay, the fertilization process is carried out outside the body of the organism. So that is the technique of tissue culture. Now, nowadays, a complete organism can be developed from a single cell or from tissue with the help of tissue culture technique. Now here, 3 different types of nutrient media can be prepared. It can be liquid, it can be solid, or it can be jelly-like. How is it prepared? Agar. This agar is extracted from the seaweeds and it is used for the nutrient media, and also the additional nutrients which are required for complete and proper growth of the organisms are added into that agar, and this is used as the nutrient media for tissue culture. Now, who introduced all this tissue culture technique? It was done by Frederick Champion Stewart, who was born on 1904 and was alive till 1993. He was a British botanist. He had shown that cells and tissue can be grown ex vivo, that is, in the artificial condition in the nutrient media. To prove this, he isolated cells from carrot root and cultured them in a nutrient media. He also proved that each cell has the ability to produce a new plant. Now see, what are the steps involved in tissue culture technique? There is a source plant, which is also known as mother plant. A meristematic tissue is extracted from this. Now, in case of this bulb form is the meristematic tissue, it is extracted from the mother plant. Then it is given primary treatment. It is given primary treatment and put into a proper nutrient medium. The cells starts dividing, redividing, and starts developing the roots and the shoots. They keep on multiplying, develops root, shoot, and small plantlets are developed. These plantlets are then transferred for primary hardening that is done on the nursery beds. Plantlets are separated and planted in the soil for primary hardening. Then secondary hardening is done by transferring them into the bigger pot, and again these are then transferred into the fields, that is into the natural habitat. So this is how these steps go on. First, the meristematic tissue is extracted, it is separated, it is given primary treatment and put into the nutrient media. In the nutrient media, the cells, they divide, redivide, reproduce, multiply, and then they starts developing roots and shoots, which are then transferred in the soil for primary hardening, then into the bigger pots for secondary hardening, and then it is transferred into the field. So these are the steps or the process involved in tissue culture. Now, how has this biotechnology proved to be an blessing for the world? Now, it has changed the entire agricultural management technique. Genetically modified crops are getting produced with different characteristics, different useful characteristics. See, here is the example of genetically modified fruits. Then you have the rice varieties. You can see over here, this is normal rice and this is golden rice. Normally, we get carbohydrates from the rice, but this improved variety is capable of producing a vitamin A derivatives. Okay, so along with the carbohydrate, golden rice also provides vitamin A derivative, as well as the iron content is rich. There are potatoes, which has increased nutritive value by genetic modification. In case of potato, the shelf life of potato is also improved. Now see, when you keep potatoes for longer period, it starts budding, it starts sprouting, because of which the potatoes get spoiled. But now genetically modified varieties are produced, which takes more time for sprouting, and hence the spoilage of these potatoes can also be reduced. Crops to withstand environmental stress can be produced. Now, what are these? See, nowadays, due to global warming, the climate change is taking place. It rains anytime in the year. In earlier days, how we had seasons, okay, particular in monsoon season only there would be rain. But nowadays, throughout the year, anytime it rains, then it is also irregular and uneven. Some part of the country receives large rainfall, whereas, or the heavy rainfall, whereas some part of the country, they have very scanty rainfall. So in these conditions, as our population is also increasing, the demand for food is also increasing. To overcome all these, new varieties of crops are produced by genetic modification using the technique of biotechnology. Such plants, like the areas which are drought prone. So in that cases, drought resistant plants are developed where the temperature is more and the crops get damaged due to high temperature. Temperature resistant varieties of plants are grown in the areas where there is heavy rainfall and floods all the time. So the flood resistant varieties can be developed. So that is how, by changing the genetic makeup of the plants, new varieties of plants are developed, which may be drought resistant or the flood resistant or temperature resistant. Okay. Next is pest resistant crops. Now, first, what is pest? See, many times you must have seen, even at home, the plants get infected by some kind of organism, either the worms or the microbes. Okay, the leaves starts getting yellow, entire leaves are being eaten up, the fruits are damaged by such organism. Those organisms which damages the food crops or the agricultural crops are known as pest. Okay, any organism that damages the things around you, they are known as pest. For example, uh, cotton. In our country, cotton was grown on larger scale, but there was a worm known as gallworm. This used to damage the cotton birds, as you can see in this case. Now, as the birds, that is these birds were damaged by the gallworm, the production was hampered. The farmer who were expecting that by planting so much plants, we can get so much production, everything was messed up by the infection of this pest. So, genetically modified cotton variety is produced. That is also known as BT cotton. Now, in this variety, in the cotton plant, a gene is introduced, which is known as uh, NIF gene. This gene, as these worms eat the leaves or the buds of the crop and it goes into the stomach, this gene gets activated and produce toxins. After entering into the stomach of the worm, it produces toxin due to which the worms get killed. So because of this, the farmers who plant BT cotton, they do not have to depend on the pesticides, which are chemicals damaging their lands again. So the dependence on chemical fertilizers or the weedicides is dropped down due to introduction of genetically modified crops, which also saves the environment by reducing environmental pollution caused due to application of chemicals. And of course, as the plants were not damaged by the organisms, the production of the crop has also increased manifold, which also gave profits to the farmers. So this is how pest resistant crops are developed. Now, application of biotechnology in floriculture, nurseries, and forestry. Floriculture is where flowering plants are developed. You all know that in the festival seasons, people need flowers. So those farmers who carry out the culture of flowering plants, they are known as floriculturists. Okay. So large varieties of plants are produced with the help of tissue culture. They are improved for developing increased numbers of flowers, excellent quality of fruit with increased nutritive qualities are produced. Then fully grown plants can also be grown in shorter duration, in very less time as it take in the natural process. Due to tissue culture, in very shorter period, multiples of the healthy plants can be developed in the aseptic condition. Now, plants can be developed without the process of pollination. Okay, as the fertilization and everything is carried out by the artificial norms, or even in the tissue culture, you do not need seeds. If you take the meristematic tissue, from the meristematic tissue also new plants can be developed. So without pollination or without germinating the seeds, new varieties, healthy varieties of plants can be developed in the bioreactors, which are uh, aseptic, which are sterile. See, this is how the tissue culture is carried out for developing the plants. The meristematic tissue is transferred into the cell. This is the bioreactor in which the plants are grown, then they are separated and transferred into the pot for plantation, and ultimately then transferred into the fields. Tissue culture technique can also be used for production of disease disease-free plant. There are many disease caused to plants as in case of the animals. With the help of tissue culture, that factor, disease causing factor, can be eliminated because this is carried out in the sterile conditions. Embryos formed by conventional hybridization technique between two or more varieties may not grow fully for some reasons. However, embryos produced by tissue culture technique always completes their growth. Then it can also be utilized for conservation of rare species. Now, what are rare species? The plants or the animals which are very few in number. Okay, few in the sense they are less than 1,000 in number or even less than hundreds or in the number of hundreds. They are known as rare and endangered species. That is, if the steps are not carried out to protect this organism, they will be completely vanished from the environment. For the production, for the conservation or for saving such organisms, tissue culture technique can be utilized by multiplying these plants or the animals in the tissue culture technique, and the number of these rare species can be increased. Rare and endangered plants can be grown by tissue culture technique and can thus be protected from extinction. Similarly, various parts and seeds of such plants can be preserved by tissue culture, and those varieties can be protected. These are the uses of tissue culture and biotechnology in case of plants. Okay. So by this, today's topic is completed. Thank you, students, for quietly listening to the topic. If in case you have any doubt, you can ask and we will clarify your doubts. Thank you. Okay, let us just quickly revise what we have learned today. We have seen a new branch of biology that is known as biotechnology. In biotechnology, what we do, we use the organism, either the entire organism or part of the organism, for betterment of the society. Okay. It can be used for production of different varieties of crop plants, for preparation of medicines, or for resolving the health issues in the organisms. We have seen that the history of biotechnology is back 8,000 BC years back, where this technique was used for the process of fermentation, yogurt making, cheese making, and so on. The term biotechnology was coined by the Hungarian engineer Karl Erki in 1919. In this, there are two different techniques. First is the genetic engineering, in which the modification is carried out at the gene level, at the DNA of the organism. The genes are altered to get the desired result. And the second is tissue culture, in which with the help of meristematic tissues or the totipotent tissues, the entire organism can be developed ex vivo, that is in the artificial condition, within a short period of time. We have seen that biotechnology is used for production of cash crop, improvement in varieties of cash crop, increase the ability of plants to withstand the environmental stresses, for vaccine production, earlier diagnosis of congenital diseases, organ transplant, cancer research, production of artificial skin and cartilage in the laboratories. We have seen steps in genetic engineering, which involves identification of the desired gene, separation of the gene from the genome, inserting the desired gene into the desired host organism, then multiplying this gene by multiplying the organism in a proper nutrient media and developing the new plants to express the gene. Then we have seen the tissue culture in which is a technique in which the plants can be grown in the nutrient media under aseptic conditions in the laboratories, that is outside the body of the organism, for which a meristematic tissue which is present in the root tip or in the shoot tip is collected. It is transferred to the cultural media where it develops the tissues and organs and ultimately the entire organism. For the tissue culture technique, different types of nutrient medias can be used, which can be either liquid, solid, or gel-like. It is produced with the help of the agar and the additional micro and macronutrients needed for proper growth of the organism. We have seen the scientists who have introduced these steps of the tissue culture, who is known as Frederick Champion Stewart, who was the British botanist. He had extracted the meristematic cells of the carrot and shown the steps of tissue culture. We have seen how biotechnology has changed the agricultural management for improving the production of the crop with improved quality, that is quantity also and quality also. High nutritive value and high quantitative production of crops can be achieved for meeting the increasing demand of the food in the society. With the help of biotechnology, plants can be developed to withstand the environmental stress like high temperature. Drought resistant plants can be developed, flood resistant plants can be developed, famine resistance plant can be developed. Okay, so crops can be developed to overcome the climate change that is occurring nowadays due to global warming. We have also seen that the plants can be protected from the pest without application of chemical fertilizers with the help of a minute genetic modification in the crop plants, which will help the farmers not only to get the larger production in the field, but also reduce the consumption of chemical fertilizers as well as chemical pesticides, weedicides, so that the environment can also be protected from getting polluted. Then we have also seen how biotechnology is used in floriculture, nurseries and forestries by producing uh, n numbers of plants in very small period of time without the process of fertilization or without the process of germinating the seeds. Even if the seeds are not available, but with the help of the meristematic tissue that is available, new crops can plants are, that is rare plants or the rare organism, they can be grown in the disease free environment from the meristematic tissues, and they can be saved from getting extinct from the environment by the process of tissue culture and biotechnology. By this, I end my lecture. Now, if in case you have any doubt, you can just ask. Yes, anyone is having any doubt? You can unmute yourself and ask. Ma'am, I'm finished with the lecture.
Hello,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes. Nice.
Ma'am, where is the topic of genetic engineering in the textbook?
Yes. You have
I
it.
can't find it.
These are the steps that are involved in biotechnology. If you open the textbook that is the Introduction to Biotechnology chapter, in that you can see.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Anything else? Or should we end? Yes, Sanji. Those who are raising hand, you can turn on your, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Teacher, no
Yes.
heavy doubt.
Yes.
No have
Miss, what is your xylem?
What? Can you repeat your question? I didn't hear you. Can we end now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, students. For today, we are going to stop here.